Same trail. Different day. Feels a little difficult today. I don't know why. Feel heavier. Let's take more energy or something. Could be in my mind. Feels harder. Feels like the whole world is stressed out. At least the people in this country. It's just the feeling I get. But we're all going to be rich from the tariffs, right? Trump's going to cut us in on the profits. You know, one of my favorite people ever is Gaddafi. You know, the one that ruled was the president or whatever you want to call Libya. And if you don't know the truth about why they killed him, who did, we know who did. I remember somebody saying, some woman laughing and saying, we came, we saw, he's dead. And laughed. I think everybody knows who that is. You should know. Initials HRC. But if you look at why they did it, the whole world should be enraged. Because he was creating a path of freedom for every nation, pretty much. He cut out the you-know-who's and made his own money. And had his own money. And his money was backed by a lot of resources that Libya had. So they had a strong you know, strong currency. And he gave everything and you wouldn't believe what he did. All the money he sold in oil, every citizen in the country would get their, you call it their, everybody, it was all sliced up, everything. And everybody would get it in their account automatically. And that's no bullshit. I mean, he was, and see, if you do, it's amazing. You can print your own play money and play. And if you play cool and do it right, you could have a great game. But not the way it's been done here. Well, we know what they've done. But, I mean, he got his people rich. They loved him. You know, in Libya, you, by birthright, you got a house or an apartment for free. With your birth, you know, it's part of being a citizen. Your house, you know, whether you're, I guess they probably determine whether you get a house or an apartment or whatever. You wouldn't be homeless. And also, you would, the school was all free, and all the education, their education was really good then. And when you got out of high school, if you wanted to go to, or whatever they had as high school, if you wanted to go to college anywhere in the world, Libya would pay for it for you to go. Really amazing stuff. You think, how can you afford to do that? Because you're fucking honest. You're not juicing in the fucking people for everything you can. And fucking counterfeiting all over the fucking... Who do you think the biggest counterfeiters in the world are? As far as it's counterfeiting US dollars. I'm not going to say it. But it's the ones that can get by with doing it. I mean, I remember when I used to say to people, fuck, just think if you ran the treasury or whatever, that'd just be pallets of money for your friends out the back. And people be like, you can't do that. You get caught. I mean, you wouldn't be able to do it. But they that shared the criminal enterprise that's doing it. I mean, all they're doing is printing more. It's just you don't find out about these. And to think that the system keeps you from doing that, you're not bullshit. If you're on the inside, those families, and we know who prints the money. It's really, I mean, I shouldn't say too much about that, but I'm being very vague about anybody I'm talking about, so. But what they've done is blackmailed the whole world into printing their money. I mean, they come pay, if you have your own shit going on, and you know, and you know what, and I'll tell you, I found a way that you can tell if what would you call it? The devil owns the country, or has got their grip on it, or not. You see McDonald's, KFC, all this shit. That place has been captured. Corporate crap food. That tells you who's running. And they wear little hats. Just like the little street monkeys, little monkey performers. Different kind of looking hat, a little, not much different. But had criminals making the money for over 100 years, man. And you know, people here, I heard just in the last few days about stuff that's underneath us, the underground cities, how there's a train down there to get you from the east to the west coast in minutes, and how there's just all the good food that we don't get here, up on here, it goes down there. And that's not bullshit. And they took our money and did all that shit. We paid for it all. We paid for the high-tech weapons that they use on us all the time. Those forest fires or wildfires. Yeah, wildfires. Yeah, I'll tell you what's wild. This house is burning in the middle of, you know, a forest area, but no forest around. The house was burned. And also, a house will be burned down to powder. Like basically powder. But the blue recyclable trash containers will be sitting right there, untouched. Melted cars sitting next to blue recyclable containers, untouched. Need I say more? I don't know, some of you may not have an idea about what that means. Blue keeps you safe from certain elements, not natural elements. Most people should know that by now. I mean, when they did that whole, the fuck was that? What was the name of that? Paradise. Northern California, that fire. That was the first time I ever seen it. You know, patterns of neighborhoods burnt that were in the mountains, but no fire path burning in and out. They just burn the houses. Which is, what do you think of how fire moves? That's impossible. So something brought the fire right to it. People say the smart meters and stuff, Well, I know they use those too, but when you see the blue cans untouched, that's because they're, I don't know if I should even say. It's like pew 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 in a video game, but mixed in with something you heat up your lunch in. Nuclear machine everybody has in their kitchen. A blue beam mixed with that. And the micro, believe it or not, the micro follows the blue beam to the target. And it heats up the lunch from, or whatever it's, you know, it's inside out heat. And that's why you see melted rims and all that shit. They did it here in Altadena. It just sickens me that, you know, there's not enough people with common sense to look at the evidence with an honest, you know, outlook on it. And especially when they fucking close those places off and they won't let you come back. I mean, those are all organized burns. Shit, a lot of them are, most of them are places where they've already got future fuck, man, it's bugged. They already got plans for what they're going to put there already. Oh, here's some. Maybe it's me I hear. And I see some YouTube videos, man. What's this girl's? Her girl name is D-E-E. She goes fucking the craziest fucking places. I think she's from Carolina or something over there. She's right where there's a lot of woodsy. And I was, man, dude. And she gets incredible fucking footage. And a lot of it she'll even tell you she doesn't get it. It's when she goes home and checks things out that she freaks out when she sees all some of these things. But a lot of times she goes in alone. Sometimes I think she's with her husband or her boyfriend, but a lot of times she's fucking alone, man. And I wouldn't even fucking do that, dude. And like, I was watching one today, and there was a rake. You know those white skinny things that who knows what their fucking origins. I think there's some type of demonic something, but dude, the thing was fucking closing in on her, following her. And there was this, it's funny, and there was like, she didn't even know it until afterwards, but there was an orb that was cruising around, and I'm sure a lot of people were saying, oh, that's fake. Bullshit. This chick ain't got the technology. She ain't got no reason to do that. And she wouldn't have to, because you can just tell by when you look around the place she's going. Their fucking place, that's where cryptid shit. She goes to one place that she goes to where there's this road, and it's a historic road that, like, Civil War, you know. So some crazy shit happened there in the past, we assume, but. And it's a historic road. You know, it's D's Scary Something. Look that up on YouTube. Man. Scary shit. I mean, I got curiosities in the origins of Bigfoot and stuff. I think our secrets lie within that creature. And I think that when that orb was cruising around her, I think that's what that was. And I was thinking, just the way it was, like, right around her. And you could see that rake through the fucking bush, like, not that far from her. She didn't even know it was there. Man, I just had this feeling that thing was protecting her. Because it was staying right next to her. I mean, and when you look at her videos, she'll ask them to show themselves as an orb. And they don't do it when, like, right when she asks, but on that last video, one I saw, it's like only like 23 minutes long. It's a short one. One of her newer ones. Oh, fuck. You can see a lot of eye shine in the back behind her, and here, and they're really close. But I think she's dealing with, well, one of them you could see the white, it was a rake. And she's not faking it. She's not doing that shit. I mean, she gets a couple 100,000 views, but none of her shit had 1 million views. So she's not the approved content. You get 1 million views, that means they let you in the door. And you're sucking somebody's dick or in somebody's family. I was daydreaming. I think it was today. Yeah, I think it was. And I was thinking about, you know, the families that the 13 satanic families that all the power comes from. I was thinking, like, you know, it's obvious that these people are into the dark shit. But I think they go to the dark side because that's the only way. Generationally, they do it. I mean, all these families, they're Satanists generations back. But they do it to hold power. Of course, it's not a good thing, but if you think about it, if they were good Christian families, they wouldn't hold that power like that. They'd share it with the, you know, they'd eventually have as much as everybody else. That's just the way Christian values are. But what they do is when you go into Satan, into that dark world. Everything's a secret. And your own family members will kill you for talking. And people just don't understand how long those people have been in power. And they come from originally, little hat culture, but not entirely, but mostly. That's where it originates. But and if you look at the last really, I'm sure there's a lot that say they're Christian. The last really Christian family, deep family to rule was the Tsar of Russia. You remember what happened to him and his family. See, and you just can't. He trusted the little hats, and they all got close to him, and they chopped his whole family up, and they just did the most god-awful things. And in my opinion, it's those that did it. Those are the ones in power today. That's who's running this country. I'm not going to say the name. It's a long name. It starts with a B. And if you look at if you look at World War II and how everything ended there, there's really no explanation for where that group went. And wherever that group went, they have children that do the same as them. Especially that group. So, and since you never hear, and actually, and through our school system and everything, you will not hear that group talked about at all. And that tells you who runs our fucking school system. It's that B group from back then. And people would say, people would laugh at that because you don't hear about it. Well, see, that's why you don't hear about it, because they're running it. You know what I mean? I mean, like, there's a certain group, and I'm saying that behind the group that's running our country is them. I'll put my life on that. But the ones that we say, there's a certain country that has taken over our country, and that's a fact. But it's that group that's in that country, and that have been here for the whole time, because the leaders from that group came from this country. One of those leaders, I'm not going to say his name. Man, these fucking bugs. One of the main leaders, I'm not going to say his name because it's a name everybody knows, was from here, from New York. Because there's always been a large little hat community here. Fuck these bugs are killing me. Let's see if we need bears in here. Yeah. We'll go down this way. Man, these fucking bugs are... I'm gonna put that fucking net over my head. I'm gonna go this way. Ah, man. Ooh, that was almost bad. Fuck, that would have been on camera too. Tumbling down the fucking hill. That'd have been... Somebody would have found that shit funny. Fuck, man, that could have been fatal. That could have been the evidence. What happened to Pat? So I was trying to walk down the fucking mountain forward instead of turning around and doing this and holding my rope. And I almost fucking fell. That was close. I don't know how far. Dude, if you fall there, where do you stop? And if you don't stop here, you're dead. Maybe I don't like think. Let's just say that it almost happened and it didn't, and leave it at that. Whew. All right, I'm gonna cut this one off. I think I'm safe now. Son of a bitch. That was close. All right, everybody. I'll make another one for the way down. Stay safe. Merry Christmas season.